Howdy everyone, Ryuuta here, Captain of the Only Slayers at your service. I keep trying to figure out like what's a good way to like rhyme this. Cause I know I did the whole no need to pray and decided to bring about a brighter day. I'm trying to figure out what's a good one for like learning a new engine. It's like I need to like actually work that out. I have no idea. I have no idea what to say for that one. Okay, whatever. We'll just do the try to two. No need to pray, here to slay, and bring about a brighter day. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing this Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, afternoon, wherever you're at? But it's like I was actually planning on doing like some more not Blender lessons, but Godot lessons, you know, throughout the week. But I never got around to doing it. I never got around to doing it. Yeah, that was completely on my fault. But hey, that's why I scheduled another stream. That's why basically my stream schedule is the same as last week's because, well, I'm still playing like the same games, but then I need to force myself to get some more Blender reps in. So that is what I'm gonna be doing today as well. So once again, for those that know, actually, why do I keep saying Blender rep? I think I know why, because I'm also part of an indie dev team, and we've been working a lot in Blender. So it's like anytime I have to work on something that revolves around 3D or around game stuff, I just say Blender when it's actually Godot. Maybe one of these days I'll do a Blender stream because we need to also do some 3D models. But yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's like no need to rush. Anyways, but yeah, this is gonna be another learning stream. So if you guys don't want to stick around for that, that is perfectly fine. I don't expect anyone to stick around for this. This is literally for me to sit my bitch ass down and get these reps in. I'm gonna try to get in at least 2 hours worth of lessons in because I want to also hit the gym because we gotta train both the mind and the body. Let me get a sip of water. Alright, and let's switch up the music. Cause I think last time I put it on some Sonic Frontiers music for like it was like 10-hour music or something. Let me see. Frontiers 10-hour. Which one did I use? No, it wasn't that. It was. Oh yeah. This is lo-fi right here. This is lo-fi. Cause yeah, this is gonna be a pretty calming stream. So if you want to use this to like fall asleep to, then be my guest. All right, I'm gonna turn this down because I need to be able to hear. I also need to be able to hear the lessons as it goes along. So yeah, once again, if you guys don't want to stick around for this, perfectly fine. Just go do what you want to do. All right, let me figure out where is. Here we go. Bring the engine up in here. All right, and let me shrink this down too. So yeah, because once again, this is like this thing I got right here is paid content. So oh, wait, actually, maybe this was the reason why. Let me see. How does this look with the? Oh wait, no, not window capture. I don't know what that does. Okay, yeah, let's like keep these guys right here, just so we don't get MFing banned. And let's also resize this. I should really put this on top since this is what I'm working with. But actually, yeah, I might as well just make this. Yeah, do that. Is over. Okay, so yeah, now you guys can kind of got a better idea of what I'm working with, and position the wigglies a little bit right there. Maybe, yeah, right about there's good. All right, all right. So let's continue where we left off because honestly, let's see. Got that. Oh wait, that's an added node. Hold on, let me check my notes. Okay, so middle master drag and scroll to zoom. Okay, yeah. So last we left off, we were just figuring out how to like place objects in here, along with changing the colors of them by creating a completely different scene. So like over here, what we do in this scene, what we do to the player sprite right here, we could just take take modulate and then change the color of it to whatever color we want. So we changed it. Well, for this example, let's just change it to that. Then we go back to the test scene, and I believe that was supposed to update. Shit. How do I make an update? In color code sprite node is the modulator visibility. Can it edit multiple nodes at once for creating a scene? Oh, right. We have to. I forgot. We have to save the scene as well. Changes to a separate scene will affect incident until after you save. Got it. Okay, so yeah, I have to actually save the scene, then go over here. Now it's okay. Now it's affected. Okay, but yeah, let's switch that back over to red. Go back over to red. Save. All right, and we're right where we left off from last time. So let me see. What's the next lesson we have to learn? Next lesson is Node Tools. Node Tools Part 1. Alright. I really should do this during the week, but... Oh, wait. I don't need to label it Part 1. That's just going to be for the video itself. Alright, let's see.
Hey everyone. In this lesson, we are going to be looking...
Oh yeah, right. Let me also grab one and everything. Maybe I could do this. Use this box instead of having to put out that one thing. Oh my god, that's so much. That makes things so much easier. I'll just use this box.
At the different tools that we can use in order to move, rotate, and scale our nodes. Now, we already know that if we select a node, we can go over into the inspector, down to transform, and we can modify the position, rotation, and scale properties right here. But you know, this can be a bit annoying if we're trying to specifically position something. We don't always know exactly where in the world we want to put it based on a number. So what we can also do then is, with a node selected, we can go to the top left corner of our scene viewport, and you see there are these 4 tools. Okay, we have the select mode, we have the move mode, we have the rotate mode.
Okay. Let me write this down. Wait, what was this called again? This is what happens when you don't review notes. Oh yeah, right. It's referred to as a dock. Let me also take a look at it myself. Select, so we got move, node, rotate, and scale. Let me move.
And we have the scale mode, okay? Now, we can select these tools by just left clicking on them. And if I click the select mode, what this means is I can select a node whenever I click on it. As you can see, I can click on a node and it becomes highlighted. Now, with the select tool, we can then select a node, and then we can go over to the move mode, for example, and you can see that it changes a bit. We have now this little gizmo on screen which has 2 arrows, a red arrow pointing to the right and a green arrow pointing down. This basically means that we can modify the position of this node. So if I click and drag on it now, as you can see, I am now basically moving it around. So I can move it over here, move it over here. And we can also use our keyboard shortcuts to navigate between these. So if we want to go back to the select mode, we can just press Q on our keyboard to select a node. We can then press W to go to the move tool and move it around.
Oh, so Q,
now, as well as this, we also have the rotate mode, which is this third button right here.
Oh, okay.
And basically, this means...
Let me write this down. Since like I remember using Maya, that the keyboard shortcuts for move, so for select, move, rotate, and scale, those were all the same as in Godot. It's only different in Blender, since Blender's got like a different tool set, but they even have that program even has a mode that you can set it to make it more familiar with you if you've trained yourself on Maya. Since, I mean, it is, of course, the industry standard, but, yeah, you know how it be. Thought that was interesting, so let me take note of that. Alright.
means if we click and drag on a node, we can then rotate it around like so, okay? And if we press S or go to the scale mode right here, we can click and drag.
Oh wait, it's S? Oh shit. I thought that was R. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. Holy shit. Oh fuck. Okay, well, I'll be damned. I will be damned. Time for me to eat. It's like time for me to eat all types of shit. Cause shoot, I was for sure thinking like, okay, so this is gonna be the same where they're all corresponding on like the same keys. All right, let me bring this up. All right. All right, go back to the testing. Then I think let me control duplicate this a couple times. All right. Yep, and that's to select. And then this is to move it, even though I kind of don't see what's the difference between selecting it and moving it. Oh, okay. Maybe it does this. Let's see. Nope. I was thinking like if you use the move tool, it'll keep track of where exactly you move it to, but no, it doesn't. Ooh. Okay, so a theme doesn't appear for at least a 2D mode, but I just click anywhere and I can just rotate it like that. Yeah. Oh, and I can click anywhere. I don't even have to be directly on top of the sprite. Thank God. Because sometimes it gets annoying in 3D space. And then, of course... Ooh! Shoot, I don't have to do it for any of the tools, honestly. I that's the same for... Okay, yeah, select, I need to actually select, but what about this? Okay, so I can click anywhere off screen and it'll still do it. Alright. Keep note of that. Alright.
Drag to change the size of this sprite. And as you can see, we can click and drag on these individual boxes. So if I click and drag on the red one, it scales it along the x-axis. And if I click and drag along the green box, it scales along the y-axis. So let's just rotate that back into its normal orientation, go back to the move tool, move that around a bit. And with the move tool, if you want to move it along a specific axis, you can just click and drag on these lines as well, okay? So I can click and drag on the red arrow to move it along specifically, move it specifically along the x-axis, or I can click and drag on the green arrow to move it specifically along the y-axis, okay? Just like that. So that is a look at the select, move, rotate, and scale tools inside of Godot. Okay, so as a bit of a challenge, this is what I want you to attempt. I want you to first of all create a brand new Sprite 2D node with the coin texture. Okay, we have those two textures, we have the player and the coin. And then I want you to duplicate, position, rotate, and scale those nodes in order to match the image on the right hand side. So you can see over there we have 6 different nodes positioned, rotated, and scaled in a certain order like so. So that is your challenge. Have a go at that, and I'll be right back to see how you're done.
Alright, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting for an assignment or like a, well, in this case, a challenge to appear. That's alright. Nice way to spice things up. Kind of like get into like a bit of a practical, whatever. God, I cannot speak today. I can't. Alright, just so you guys can see, well, let me reactivate the window. So, essentially, our challenge is to basically create this image right here on the right. And we have to create it using, like, creating it using coin textures by creating a new 2D sprite node with the coin textures on there. Yeah. Fun stuff. And yeah, we gotta like duplicate it and scale it so that it looks like that. Alright. Now it's just a matter of me just kind of like remembering literally everything. So alright, so let's go over here. Alright, let me review my notes. Let me see, what kind of node did we create? This is what happens when I don't practice off screen. Alright, I think it was just like a, let's see, node 2D. Okay, yeah. So, go ahead and create one of these. Alright, right here. Now, how did I set this thing, set the sprite in here? Alright. God, I cannot remember how did I use the file system to like create a use it to create a node. Oh, the texture property. Oh, okay, there we go. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was trying to figure out where exactly. Hold on, let me let me increase the size of this so you guys can see it better. So you can see what I'm trying to figure out. I was like, I don't even think I need. It's like I don't think I need the wigglies. It's like the engine screen is going to be covering up most of this, so you guys have served your purpose. Oh wait, what? Wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? What the heck? How'd you get over here? What the fuck? Get out of there. I was like trying to figure out like where the fuck did where the fuck did the engine go? Alright. So basically first things first, let's turn off the visibility for all that so that we can concentrate on this. Then we'll go over here. Well, we'll call it as like we're gonna change the name of this, call it like coin. And then we'll take the coin PNG and then just drop it off right there. Alright, and then let's see. According to that project, there's about six coins price. So we're gonna duplicate that a couple times right there. Alright. So thankfully this coin is already set into position. But let me also check and see if there's any other sprites I can like grab out of here. Okay, yeah, just the player and the sprite. Got it. So first things first. I'm gonna have to. We could create the middle section by just dragging this out, just like that. And drag that down. Alright. And then the next thing we can do is move. First, we gotta move these out just a bit. It's like 30 pixels on that side, and then 30 pixels on this side. And now the fun part, where we need to scale down both of these. Whoa, shit! Let's see. Can we do it this way? Oh yeah, and if you hold shift, you can just do both axes at the same time. So we'll shrink it down to about yeah, 9 point. It's like 5.91. That's probably gonna be good right there. All right. And now the last two. So we gotta go over here, switch it back to move. Then we're gonna drag this out to about 75 is good. Yeah, 75 should be good. Do it on the other side too. And now we gotta rotate them. So I think it's about 45 degrees. Alright, it's probably not going to be 1 for 145, but that's going to be as close as we could get it. Okay, and then for these two, we got to bring them in a little bit. Alright, not quite perfect, but hey, I think it's probably as good as we're gonna get it. Hey there, Cosmic, welcome to the stream, welcome. Glad you can make it, but hey, you don't need to stick around because yeah, we're doing some more learning. Yes, I did see it. You know, it's like I'm glad she's sleeping well. That's how you don't need to send me pictures, okay? So yeah, as long as she's doing well, that's fine. Also, I hope you're doing well. It's like doing well. Well, yeah, I can't deny that. But Yeah, you don't need. It's like you don't need to do that. You can just let me know she's doing okay, and that'll be good enough for me. All right, but yeah, this is gonna be another learning stream. So you could you don't need to stick around for it, or you could just like leave it on in the background if you're gonna like fall asleep to it. You know, kind of like how Dusty's falling asleep. Okay, so she knows a photo was taken. She just doesn't know who. All right. Okay. So I finished that little chat. Well, yeah, it could be better, but I was like, yeah, I still finished it anyway. All right, time for the next lesson.
Alright, so I hope you had a go at that challenge. Pretty much what we want to do is, let's just pan over here so we have a bit of room. We first of all want to create our Sprite 2D node. Now, in order to do that, we could go ahead, click on the plus.
Alright, get rid of this right here. See what it's like. What's next?
Create the node here. But an easy way of doing that is, if you already know what sprite you're going to use, we can go down to the file system, click our coin.png, and just drag that into our scene. And as you can see, it's going to automatically create a brand new Sprite 2D node. It's going to assign the texture and give it a name of coin.
Oh, interesting. Hey there, Billy. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. And I know that feeling of suffering burnout. So yeah, hopefully you can recover well. Yeah, and I hope your Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning afternoon will treat you as like it's treating you well as well. All right, so let me get rid of this stuff over here. Right here. I was trying to figure out like where's the thing to delete all the nodes? Because I don't need them anymore. All right, and I gotta move over here, and then we can just click and drag and drop, and it will automatically create that. All right, let me take note of that really quick. By the way, Billy, this is gonna be like a learning stream for me trying to learn the Godot engine. So if you don't want to stick around for that, that's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and get some rest. Well, this is just for me to get my reps in. Alright. Yeah, speaking of burnout, yeah, it was like I was getting burnt out at work for like the past couple weeks, but now things are finally slowing down as winter break comes, and yeah, now I got enough brain energy to take care of this.
Which is great. So what we want to do now is we pretty much want to select this coin, press W to go to the move tool, move it up here a bit, press Control D to duplicate that. We then want to move this one down a bit here, and then we want to then go Control D again, move this one over here to the right. We then want to press S to go to the scale tool. Now as you can see, it's a bit hard to get the right scale, so it's even. So what we can do is hold down Shift, and that is going to scale uniformly along all axes. So we can scale this one.
Oh, okay, I see what he's doing. He's basically, so you guys can't see the video, but what the guy is basically doing, he's now, You know what? Actually, let me I'll stick the video down here so you guys can like actually see it. Yeah, it's gonna be really tiny, but yeah, basically he's basically doing the same thing I literally just did, but just showing how to do it a lot more seamlessly.
One down here a bit. Go back to the move tool, move it over. Control D, move this one over here. Control D once again, move this over here. We can then scale this up a bit, and we can then press E for the rotate tool, and we can click and drag to rotate this around. Now, you might not be able to get a proper rotation on this, so once again, just like with scaling, we can hold down Control this time, and this sort of snaps the rotation, as you can see here. So we can get a nice square angle like that. We can then duplicate that once more and move it over here. And there we go. We now have our little structure of nodes here, which have each been moved, rotated, or scaled into the correct position for them. And that is the challenge complete. So I recommend that you do have a go continuing to learn the select, move, rotate, and scale tools, as you'll be using them all throughout your Godot projects, okay, to align certain colliders with sprites, to dragging and dropping in pretty much any piece of, or any scene or node structure that you want for your game, such as enemies, rocks, collectibles. Eventually with UI elements as well, you'll need to be knowing these tools. So yeah, have a go at that. And in the next lesson, we are going to have a further look at parenting inside of Godot. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all then.
Yeah, so this stuff is like after you've worked with when you work with a lot of different software, especially like game making and 3D software, a lot of the stuff becomes second nature. Hell, even art software, it's a lot of the stuff you do on here, such as using using shift to do uniform scale and then snapping. That's something you also learned using Photoshop and other tools like Clip Studio Paint. So yeah, if you already know how to use that, then yeah, this is kind of like, it becomes second nature to you after you use it for a while. But if you don't use it, it's one of you plan on using programs like this, it's good to like kind of get that muscle memory in, because then you can bring that into other programs as well. All right, what's next? All right, what's this?
Welcome back, everyone.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so we're on to the next topic, which is parenting. Alright.
In this lesson, we are going to be looking at the concept of parenting inside of the Godot engine. Now, we've already looked at parenting in the fact that we have created nodes. So whenever you create a node, unless it is the root node, which we have right here, then you are making a child node of another, okay? So let's start by creating ourselves a node. So I'm gonna go ahead, click on the plus, and I'm gonna search for sprite. There we go, create the sprite 2D node. And now, as you can see in our scene window right here, sprite 2D isn't in line with node 2D, okay? Rather, it has a bit of a inline right here, denoting that it is a child node. And node 2D even has a little drop down button right here to toggle open and close its children nodes. So in your scene, everything is going to be a child of the root node, okay? Now, we can also have children of children nodes. So if I select the sprite 2D right here, let's assign the player.png to the texture, okay? And what we can then do is we can attach another child node to this. So what we can do for that is right click on sprite 2D, go add child node, and let's just say for this character we want to give them a collider. Well, we can search for collision shape 2D. Let's create that. And as you can see, that is then indented as well into sprite 2D. So now collision shape 2D is a child of sprite 2D. So if I select the collision shape node, we can then go ahead to where it says shape, click on the little drop down here, and then we can choose something like rectangle shape 2D. That's going to create a blue box right here, which we can then go ahead and click and drag on these little nodes to resize. Something like that. There we go. So now we have a sprite node which has a collider on it. And then what we can do is select our sprite 2D, and if I click and drag on these arrows here to move it around, go W to get to the move tool, we can move it around and you'll see that the collision shape follows along. Now the reason why it is following along is because if your node is a child, it is going to inherit your properties such as your...
Okay. That's some interesting stuff. Like, I already know about parenting, but I didn't know about it also being, like, something that applies to colliders. So, let me add that in. I think parenting is simple in this program because, shoot, over in Blender, it always feels like when you have to parent and then eventually weight paint something, it becomes like a hassle to remember. Because, like, you have to select things in a certain direction to parent it, and then you have to select things the other way to actually, what is it, to actually... to start, to set up the weight paint mode.
Position, rotation, and scale. So if I then go to the rotate tool and I rotate this around, you can see that the collision shape 2D also rotates. And if I go to the scale tool, it also scales, okay? So that's the great thing about these children nodes. So if you have a player, for example, and you want the player to be holding onto an item, well, that item, as long as it is a child of the player node, it's going to follow that player along wherever it goes. And a good way of having a camera follow the player is by making the camera a child of the player.
Oh.
That basically means that wherever your player goes, the camera is going to be locked on them.
Yeah, a good point.
So yeah, that is just a quick look at creating or using parenting.
You know, that makes me think. Like for third person over the shoulder games, I wonder if that's the case where, like, well, it might not be a 1-for-1, but they set that camera to be the child of the game object in the game world. That's interesting, actually.
Inside of Godot, and this is going to become second nature once you start creating all of your games and all of your different scenes. So thanks for watching.
Alright, next lesson.
Hey everyone, so far in our Godot journey, we have been looking...
Okay, I saw the title of the next one. All right, we're leaving the realms of the 2D realm, and now we're going into 3D. Now here's where the real shit happens. Yeah, and that's kind of like one of the directions I want to do my own game. I want to make it a 3D game.
At 2D scenes and 2D nodes. Well, Godot is a very versatile engine and it actually allows us to also create 3D games. So how do we go about doing that? Well, let's go ahead and create a brand new scene for our 3D level. And to do this, we are just going to go to the top left where we have scene, and we're going to go new scene. Okay, that's going to create a brand new scene here, and we need to choose a root node. Now, when creating a 3D scene, you of course need to have a root node of 3D. So we'll click on 3D scene right here. And as you can see, it's going to switch us over into 3D mode, and it's going to create a node 3D.
Alright, let me catch up with that. Well, let me also write this down as well. Alright, so... And then let me save out this scene. Let me also get rid of that. Alright, then we just click plus. Wait, no, not click plus. We go to scene, new scene, then set the root node to 3D. And yes, now we're back here. Huh? Oh yeah, let me also do a little bit of movement in here really quick, just to kind of refresh my memory. Oh yeah, there we go. All right.
So I'm going to go up to scene, save scene as, and I'm just going to call this one our, we'll go test scene 3D. There.
Okay. We'll do that too.
There we go. So now we have our 3D environment right here. Now, once again, to navigate around this, we can hold right mouse to look around, use the WASD keys to fly, E to go up, Q to go down, and we can then middle mouse to sort of orbit around what we are focusing on. Okay, those are the basic controls for our 3D environment right here. Now, how do we actually create...
Oh, shoot, I just realized something. Like, part of my body is cut off. Let me fix that really quick. Yeah, there we go.
Stuff. Well, in 2D Godot, we have sprites to pretty much show us, you know, some sort of visual aspect. Whereas in 3D, we can create what's known as a mesh instance node. And a mesh instance node is a node that can render a 3D object. So I'm going to click on the plus to create a brand new...
Hold on. Go back for a second.
Much show us, you know, some sort of visual aspect. Whereas in 3D, we can create what's known as a mesh instance node. And a
mesh instance. Unlike, let's see. Holy shit, the absolute chat. I'm too much of a coward to stream by learning pro. Hats off to you. Hey, welcome to the stream, Sin. Glad you could make it. Honestly, yeah, I feel like streaming it is gonna make me have to do it because,
You need to quench your thirst now.
Oh man, thanks. Because honestly, I was planning on actually streaming it during the week last week, but I got so busy. So I'm like, okay, I need to set aside a day.
You need to quench your thirst now.
Oh my god, god damn it. Ugh. Sound alerts. Sound alerts. Chill.
You need to quench your thirst
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I'm getting my thirst. Yeah, so I have to, so streaming it, I am forced to learn it, whether I like it or not. But I actually am liking it. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. So every single time it does that, I just have to hit refresh. But yeah, like streaming it, I'm forced to do it. But you know what? It does allow. But another thing is like it sets aside time for me to like, you know, schedule like, okay, I'm gonna use this time slot to learn how to do this. Yeah, his ass is learning. You're damn right. And now we're getting. It's like we finished up with 2D. Now we're looking at 3D. Oh yeah, exactly. And one of the things I really like are the lessons are pretty. The lessons are pretty short and they're very easy to understand. So yeah, I've been getting a lot out of this. And that's the one thing that helps is when like the difference between learning this through these short videos, like these video tutorials that are broken up into bite-sized chunks compared to learning it in a classroom. You can learn at your own pace. So like I think I probably told you this before, but I don't know if I told anyone in my chat this, but my brain, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have picked up in the chat, but my brain operates at a slow pace at times. So me trying to learn something will take a bit longer than other people. I won't be able to learn it, like, especially if I do it a lot, but it's like I need a little extra time. So with this, I could go at my own pace. I could just kind of like go at my own pace and be like, okay, okay, got it. Meanwhile, in a classroom, if they pass by something, you're still taking notes on it, you're fucked. Or you have to watch the lecture thing, which is about like, yeah, lecture videos. How long are those? Oh, right, they're like 2 hours long, and you're like, fuck me. That's why I like how this is structured. Like, even though this course is about like 2 to 3 hours long, each lesson is about maybe like 3 to 5 minutes each. So it's kind of like, okay. So I'll learn this thing, learn that thing, then take a break, come back, learn that, learn this and that. Yeah. So I think last time though, I ended it when it did a practical. So nice little, yeah. So I like how this how Zenva's been structuring things, and goddamn, I love how I'm glad you convinced me to get it during Humble Bundle, because holy shit, looking at the price of it outside of that bundle is insane. I'm like, holy fuck, that is a lot of money. So yeah, that deal is so good, and I still love how that deal came out right as Unity was blasting themselves in the foot and just self-imploding on themselves. Yeah. Ugh. So yeah, just getting it. Then it was just a matter of finding the time to do it, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it during my streams. All right, now let's keep going.
A mesh instance node.
Oh, right. That's why I wanted to write down mesh instance node, because in 2D scenes you would use like a lot of sprite work, while in 3D you use mesh instances, which makes sense. Yeah. Oh, free and open source. Yeah. I mean, so there's room for it to grow. I know, like Arado was telling me, like it's still not quite there to become viable, but with more people jumping off of Blender and some people picking up Godot, it's like now they're just gonna, yeah, it's gonna start like getting some love in. And yeah, you can go ahead and lurk and do whatever. This is still, like I told everyone that's dropped by, this is still going to be a boring stream unless you're trying to follow along with me. Otherwise, you can just use the stream as a bit of background noise.
That can render a 3D object. So I'm going to click on the plus to create a brand new node. and I am going to search for mesh.
By the way, I have to make the video that small because, like I said, this lesson is very expensive, so I don't want to have my VOD get nuked because I'm basically streaming like, yeah, I'm streaming away money. So if you can follow the audio, that's one thing, but yeah, I cannot show the whole video.
Mesh instance 3D right here. Click create.
Alright, now for me to actually do it myself. So we got to go up here, click the plus, bring out create new node, and then this time we'll be going to node 3D, and then we're looking for a mesh instance node. Where? Let me type it in. Ah, here we go. So this one's under node visual geometry, and then mesh instance 3D. So go ahead and create that. Okay.
That's going to create a new mesh instance node. We can then go over to our inspector. Now, if you already have a 3D model that you want to use, you can just drag that in. Although for us, we can click on a little drop down here and we can choose to create a brand new basic primitive mesh. So I'm going to click on new box mesh right here.
Oh, okay. Interesting. God, let me switch my pens out. This one's acting up. Ah, God, it's like just trying to find a good pen. That's gonna be like, oh, there we go. Finally. Oh, wait a minute. I got a box full of materials. I think I probably got a pen in there, but I'm a little too late to get it out. Okay, so from which okay, from the mesh. God, I hope I can read that later. Shoot, my chicken scratch writing is so good. Oh yeah, my friend gave me a lowdown on our trip coming up later this month. Okay, so now I can go over here, go over to mesh, and then click this drop down. So there's a bunch of different things we could do. And for right now, we'll just create a box. Yeah, and now we created the box. And now we just need to delete it like you do in Blender.
And as you can see, that is going to create ourselves a brand new cube. But yeah, we have our cube here, and just like in 2D, we can go to our move tool, and we can move it along by clicking and dragging on these arrows. But you will notice that in 3D, we don't just have the X and the Y axis, but we also have the Z axis, which is the blue one right here, okay? And that is because in 2D space, we only need 2 axes in order to denote a point in space, whereas in 3D, we need 3 values, okay? The X, Y, and Z. And if we go over to our transform, drop down here where we have our position property, you can see we now have 3 boxes to fill each of those in. Now, it is also different, the unit of measurement from 2D to 3D. In 2D, we are measuring distances in terms of pixels. So, you know, 100.
Oh, let me write that down. Because I was like, some of this stuff I already know. like in terms of movement, because yeah, like I said, I use a lot of Blender. So, but this one, I never really knew about like the units of measurement.
Pixels may only be like the width of your character, whereas in 3D it uses meters. And as you can see, if I click and drag along on the red axis, you can see here in the transform property, the x-axis goes from 0 over here to 1 over here. Okay, that is a 1 meter distance, and we can of course fill this in ourselves. So let's say we want to go 5 meters along the x-axis, that brings us all the way over here. 1 meter up, that's going to bring us up here, and let's just say -2 meters back on the Z, that's going to bring us over here. Okay, now you'll see on the move tool we also have these little squares, and if we click and drag on those, that basically moves us along a specific plane. Okay, so if we click on this green one, that's going to move us along pretty much every axis but the Y. If we click and drag on the red one, that's going to move us along the Y and the Z axis, and the blue one is going to move us along the X and the Y axis. Okay, now what we can also then do is we can rotate as well. So if we press E, we go to the rotate tool, and it does look a bit different. So we have each of these different axes that we can rotate along, like so, or we can just click and drag in the middle of this sphere to rotate it along our current viewpoint. Okay, it should be pretty intuitive once you get actually working with these tools. And again, if we press R, we have our scale tool. We can scale along each of these individual axes like so, or if we click and drag in the center, we can scale along all of these axes. So yeah, that is a quick look at the tools that we use for 3D. Again, they're pretty much the same as 2D, yet with an extra axis added on top, okay? Because again, we are working in 3D space. Okay, so as a bit of a challenge.
Okay, let me, I'll bring up this, I'll increase the size of this so that you can see, like, what's the next challenge they're given.
This is what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and create a snowman using multiple mesh instance 3D nodes, okay, like on the image on the right hand side here. And for this, you're going to be using the selection, move, rotate, and scale tools, okay? So have a look at that image on the right, see what you need to do, and then go ahead and attempt it. And I'll be right back to see how you're done.
Okay. So that is that's the next challenge. Now we gotta create the, we gotta create that snowman. Thankfully, it doesn't have to be like a perfect, like, a snowman, like if I was, like, doing this in SpongeBob or something. Alright. So let's get started with this. First, make sure I got the movement down and everything. Oh, yeah, okay. Good, and I can do that and then that. Alright. Alright, so first we're gonna, well, we can actually keep this, but let's actually name it, box. And then we're also gonna, like, duplicate, well, actually, we're not gonna duplicate it quite yet, because it's a little trick that they didn't really teach you. So, first things first is, like, the arms of the snowman are gonna be, like, you know, thin little boxes. So we're gonna do that, scale that down, and then extend that out like that, and adjust it as you need to, and just probably make it a little bit longer. Okay, I think, yeah, I think that should be good. All right, and then what we'll do is rotate this. Oh, yeah, and then I can also adjust the rotation right here. All right. Then move this over. Now we can duplicate it. So Command D, and then bring that over to that side. Next, we need to create another mesh instance. And then we need to make this into a spear. You know, kind of set up the base of the. Oh shoot! It created it of that child. No. We need to make it there we go. Now it's a child of node. Oh yeah. So yeah, I gotta remember. Huh? When did I take off my shirt? Oh well. Yeah. Well, actually, no. I'll keep the jacket on. All right. And then create a spear mesh right here. So that's gonna, you know what? We could probably reset. Let's actually make it a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. Ah! Oh God! Whoa! Holy shit! Let's hold on. Let's try that again. Let's see, Cameron. There we go. Much better. Just need to make it just teeny bit bigger. Just a teeny bit bigger. Well, actually, better yet, let's do it this way. Well, first let me name this a spear, and then we're going to duplicate it. Also, as my 3D teacher would like to say, there's not one specific way to do this. He likes to say that there are many ways to there are many ways to skin a cat. Don't ask me why he came up with that specific analogy, but it basically means there are multiple ways to do a single thing. There's not one set way to do it. Just gotta find whatever way works for you. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, what matters is the destination, of course. How you get there? Well, there are many ways to get there. Hopefully you pick the good way to get down there, and not the bad way. Alright. Then we'll shove that in there. And then do the same on the side. Yeah. And there we go. Holy shit. Hold on, let me drink again. Oh my god. Damn, I actually copped up a popcorn kernel. Holy shit. It's like, no wonder I was choking right then. Alright. But yeah. So we took care of that. Might not be one for one the thing he wanted it to look like, but yeah, ours is better because it's got bigger arms. Alright. But yeah, let's move on. Now he's probably gonna go over how he did it.
Hey everyone, so far in our GODOT journey,
Alright, let's yeah, we already did this lesson, so let's move on to part 2.
Welcome back everyone. I hope you had to go at that challenge, so let's look at how we can accomplish it. First of all, we need to create a mesh instance node, so I'm going to click on the plus, search for mesh instance 3D, there we go, let's create that now. And we can then go over to the inspector, go to the mesh property, click on the little drop down arrow, and we are going to go down to where we have new sphere mesh, okay? Create that just like so. We can then go Control D to duplicate it. Using the move tool, we can move up. We can then scale this down. We can then duplicate that again, and then scale that down for the head. Now for the arms, what we can do is I'm just going to duplicate one of these mesh instance nodes, and then we can go over to mesh and change that to a box mesh, okay? move that up.
Oh, so
Then
I don't
onto
even
scale.
have to create
So
it.
we have nice
I can just
thin
like duplicate
arms,
it and change
but
the
we want
shape.
to make them long.
Okay,
like so.
that's good to know.
And there we go. That is how we can make a snowman using these mesh instance nodes. Now, as a bonus, what we can also do is make it so that these are all the child of its own separate nodes. So if we want to make multiple instances of these snowmen, we don't have to select all three or four of these mesh instances in order to do so.
Yeah, create a
And
scene,
the way
right?
we can do that is by creating a brand new node 3D. Okay, create that. Let's double click on it. Let's call this one snow. And we can then select our mesh instances.
Huh. Was that what I did in... Was that what I did in the other one? I thought we just created like a whole new scene from that. Okay.
And drag those in as a child of snow. So pretty much click and drag on a node and hover it over another to make it a child. Now, if I click on snow here, you can see everything gets selected and I can then move it like so, okay? We can even go to the scale tool, scale everything up or down, even rotate everything around as well. So you can see, just like I mentioned before in 2D, every single positional, rotational, and scaling change we make to the parent node also gets applied to the children, okay? So we can move them around as one whole.
Okay, okay. Oh, and here comes the next practical. Alright, before we do that, let me also check. I got about like 2 pings. Let me see what's going on. Okay, I don't know what the fuck Cav is doing, and what's Miyu up to? Humiliation. You gotta love it. Alright, so let's go to... Alright, now let's take this test together, shall we, chat? Alright, so in our 3D environment, which axis correlates to the up and down direction? That would be the Z axis, I believe. Yeah. What node do we use to render a 3D object? Mesh instance. What root node is needed for a 3D scene? Node 3D. Alright, let's see. Oh! Okay, so it's Y. All right, let me check. Oh, okay, it was the y-axis. Man, I'm so used to using the z-axis. Hold on, I think I can show you guys really quick. Show you guys how I made this mistake. Quite simple. It was like quite an easy one to make. It was like on top of that. All right, so. Oh, whoops. All right. Right. Ah! What happened? No. Okay, there we go. All right, so with G, I can move this thing around. But yeah, as you can see right here, for these axes, right here, you'll see the x-axis going down this way and the y-axis going down here. So it only contains the directions of basically moving it around here, but it doesn't move it upwards. For the up and down directions, that's actually locked to the z-axis in Blender. So that's why I kind of got, I thought I had it, but apparently not. So the z-axis is used in 3D softwares, but in game engines like Godot, it's actually going to be the y-axis. All right. Good to know, good to know. Hell, let me actually write that down. All right. All right. Let me I'll move back to over here, and then we'll do the quiz again.
Hey everyone, so far in our Godot journey, we have been looking...
Alright, so it's going to be Y. What? Oh, wait. Yeah, what do we use? Mesh Instance and Node 3D. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Alright, but yeah, I just wanted to show that off just to kind of show like why I thought it was the Z-axis. Because, yeah, 3D softwares do it a little bit differently. Alright, next lesson.
Welcome back everyone. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at materials inside of Godot.
Okay.
Now, first up, what is a material?
Alright, let me make the next section.
Well, in 3D rendering, a material is basically a file which tells our computer what we want an object to look like, how we want something to be rendered to our screen.
Oh wait, hold on. How did he say it?
3D rendering, a material is basically a file which tells our computer what we want an object to look like. How we want something to be rendered to our screen. Okay? Now, in fact, we're already using materials right now. These mesh instances right here have a default material on them, okay? It's nothing special, nothing flashy, but it is, as you can see here, casting shadows. It is, you know, detecting where the light is coming from and rendering it to our screen with the correct shade.
Yeah, of course. When you work in like 3D softwares, this stuff is stuff you learn along the way.
So we already have a material here, but you know, you probably don't want your things to look like this. You probably want them to have a bit more color, maybe even some texture. So what we're gonna do is create a material. So let's go down to our file system here. I'm going to right click and create a new folder called materials. And then inside of this materials folder, we want to create a new material. And to do that, we can right click, go new, and then resource. Now, a resource is pretty much what Godot calls their assets, okay? And as you can see, there are
Okay.
a bunch of different resources that we can create. So I'm going to search for material, okay? And you can see here, there are a bunch of different materials. So what we want to do is go down to where we have a standard material 3D, okay? And this basically allows us to do what we want. So click create.
All right. So first, let me actually catch up with this. So down here, we had to go. So he went and created a new folder called the materials. And then after he did that, he just did a right click and then the create new and then resource. Then typed in material and then just went for a standard material 3D. Hold on, let me take a look at this. Canvas item, volumetric fog. God, all these freaking load errors that keep popping up. Alright.
Create. We need to give it a name. I'm just going to call this one our test material since we are going to be changing a few things around on it.
Okay.
Hit save. And if we open up our materials folder, you'll see that we have a test material.tres. Okay, and there it is. Now, if I select this test material, you'll see that over in the inspector, we all of a sudden have a bunch of different settings, okay? Transparency, shading, vertex color, albedo. We have all these things to modify for this material. So there are a lot of things that you can change about it, such as the texture, the roughness, the shininess. effects, the color, the transparency, and I'll give you the opportunity to go through and do that yourselves, as there are plenty of different things to change. But for us, we are just going to change the albedo, which is the color of the material.
Okay, yeah, let me note that, because it's like that's usually not used in other software. It's just like shading or it was like another name for it. But yeah, I'll note that it's the albedo. God, this is why I love doing these short lessons. I can do it at my own pace, because goddamn, if I was in a classroom, like I would still be back like in the previous section, I'll be back like 3 sections over.
So I'm going to open up the albedo drop down here. I'm going to select the color property, and we can then go ahead and change this to something. Let's just say we want to make it green. Now, if you're having a bit of trouble selecting the color that you're trying to get, you can go over to where we have the HSV, and I think this is probably my favorite color picker. So we can choose the hue, choose our saturation, and then our vibrance. Okay, so I'm going to choose let's just say a greenish color. Whoops, greenish color right there. There we go, a nice vibrant green. As you can see, we have this little preview window which shows us our changes. We can even go down to roughness and change the roughness value. And if I drag that down, you can see it gets really shiny, because if something is not rough at all, then it is smooth. Thus, it's going to reflect a lot of stuff. So. So let's bring that roughness down to around 0.2, so we have nice specular highlights. Alright, now how do we actually apply this to our mesh? Well, what we can do is just click and drag on the material and hover over the mesh that we want to apply it to.
Okay,
so
similar to
drag
Unity.
on our head, our body, our legs, and our arms, and there we go. And as you can see, we now have this material applied, and automatically it makes our snowman look quite a bit different. Okay, we have a more soft, I'd say reflective, plasticky looking substance than we had before, and we can even select our material and change these properties live. So let's say we want to bump up the roughness to make it look more of a matte color. We can bring the roughness all the way down, so it is now pretty much reflective, but you can't really see the reflectiveness that much here. So bring the roughness up a tiny bit. Go to metallic. We can change the metallic value, and as you can see, if I bring that all the way up, it pretty much looks like it is a nice shiny steel ball. But I'm going to bring that down a bit here. And yeah, have fun just going through changing these different things. We even have rim, which is going to give us a Fresnel effect on the outside of our thing here, as you can see. So yeah. Okay, so as a bit of a challenge...
Yeah, I had a feeling this guy was going to put up a new challenge. That's why I was like, okay, I'm not going to do anything quite yet. Let me see if he wants to like challenge the viewer.
This is what I want you to do. Below, we have these 3 materials that I've gone ahead and created, and I want you to try and replicate them. Now, the one on the left is probably one that we've seen so far. We have an albedo, we have a high roughness. Then the one in the middle is using transparency. So I want you to explore and experiment with the transparency settings of the materials. And then on the right hand side, we are assigning a texture to this material. So I want you to go ahead and try and replicate these 3. And in the next lesson, we're going to go over how we can accomplish those. So thanks for watching, and have a go at the challenge.
Alright, this is actually not too... It's fairly simple. Fairly simple. So first, let's gonna hide all that, and then let's see, select that, and then we're gonna go and create a another mesh instance and make that a sphere. And of course, let's see. I'll call this challenge, and then duplicate that twice, and then let's move it over. Put that one right there. Actually, we'll move a little bit further. Actually, let's move it this way. Move it to that side, and then we'll move this one right here. So then that way we got all three of these, and then we can move forward with the challenge. Hey there, Cosmic Blossom. Welcome back. Where's Phantom? Let's see. You didn't redeem Phantom, so Phantom isn't here right now. So it's like, so that's, if you're asking where he is, yeah, he ain't here. Yeah, I figured I was gonna be, I figured you were gonna do that. All right, well, I was here for like an hour and a half. I'm gonna give myself a bit of a brain break. All right. I'll let Phantom have these. All right. Okay, he can give me a little. Okay, I'll lend him my notebook. I'm gonna get some rest. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Oh, not like that. Hold on. Will you knock that shit off? I'm trying to sleep, damn it! It's like, oh, you want me? It's like you want me to bring out Phantom, but you want to give me like brain damage in the process. Jeez. Oh, right. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, Ryuuta, I just tried to get MJ off of my leg. He started whining at me. Yeah, that cats can get really clingy like that. And that's why I got, like, maybe that's why I have a dog. Well, actually, I don't have a dog. It's more like my father has one. Yeah. Well, I am sick, so. Well, yeah, it is that. Shoot, everyone's getting sick left and right. I mean, I am not sick. Dusty is sick one, not me. Right, right. Of course, yes, it is Dusty. That is the sick one. Right. Shit. I gotta also plug in my camera, but hopefully this will work. Oh my god, knock that off. Dusty has MJ on her. Right, right. Oh. Maybe this might be why. 6, 8. Oh. Alright, there we go. Now we're now we're talking. Oh. And all right, now I got my Now I got my good camera on. Hey there, Cosmic. Welcome. It's like, hey there, Cosmic. It's been a while. How you been? Hope everyone's been doing all right. It's like Ryuuta just said, like, okay, it's like, okay, okay, your girl's here. I'm leaving. Like, I'm leaving before I get brain damage again. Oh, jeez. Hopefully yeah, hopefully, like, hopefully that's not has not affected too much. But yeah, now that I'm here, I can take over. I can go ahead and take over this lesson. Wait, I wonder where did he leave off? Yeah, I started throwing shit at. Yeah, I figured. Like that's why he kind of like just stormed off. Went to his room and went to bed. It was like I attacked. Jeez, it's like you gotta be. Well, I think at this point, I think it kind of just expects that from you. Okay, let's see where did he leave off on? Okay, there's like 3 circles in. Wait, what was he doing? What was he doing? Wait, I have to create that. I have to do this challenge. What the heck? Like I didn't even. I just got here. Why am I getting tested already? Okay. All right. Let me. Jeez. Let me see if I can read his notes really quick. God, how do I read these chicken scratches? How do I read them? He'll be very excited, totally excited. Oh God, what have you got planned for him? Oh man. It's like well, I guess that'll be left to that'll be for him to have fun with, and hopefully he doesn't take anything out on me. Okay. Oh, okay. I assumed I'm gonna be involved in some way. He's been oh God, the ads are here. Oh well. All right. Well, while you're watching that ad, let me I'll focus on this. All right. Okay. I think I got it. Let me move this out of the way. Oh. All right, let's get started. What is the first one to look like again? Oh, red violet. Now, how do you do that again? What was it? Oh. Help drag me out of the ass. I'm sorry, I can't. It's like the ads are inevitable. They are inevitable, unfortunately. Alright. So I select this and... Okay, where is the, Okay, that's that. Now... Okay, there we go. Now, I'll start trying to figure out how the heck do I bring this up in the inspector. I'm melting. Oh jeez. Oh man, it's like the ad is that bad. Oh god. It's like the ads are done. Okay, that's good to hear. You gotta love those Twitch ads. All right. So for this, I'll say I could just do this. Yeah, set that, and I think the roughness, yeah, roughness that one. So yeah, this one's fairly simple. All right, and nice. All right, so far so good. Now the other ones, I gotta figure out how to change the transparency. How am I? I'm doing pretty all right. Actually, no. No, I'm not alright. I actually have a bone to pick with Ryuuta. So I went and saw like what he was doing, what he was doing the other day. So he gets it. So I get all the crappy missions where I have to go through a mansion where he already saw the vampire. What do I get? I get stabbed in a freaking dollhouse, and then I have to go into a swamp to fight some swamp monsters. Why? And then what do I see him do? He goes with Sume and looks at cute anime girls all day. Why am I getting the brunt of all this bullshit? What? It's like I know I'm new, but he doesn't have to treat me like that. Yeah, I could use a hug, thanks. I don't know, maybe the things will get easier. I want to help. No, I can do it. I just gotta pull myself by my bootstraps. This may be my hazing, but it's also my chance to prove myself, because it's like everyone keeps seeing me as like some weak femboy. Well, you know what? I'm not a femboy. I'm a man, or at least as far as I can tell. It's kind of I don't know. I think I got like microplastics in me. Maybe if I beat him. You know, that might actually be a good idea. But yeah, I'm not quite there yet. But maybe it's like one day I'll challenge him, and then I'll show him what I'm made of. And you know what? I'll be the one to take over Oni Slayers, and then he will be under me, and I get to stare down on him like this. You what? It's like, you dare disobey my orders? No. Now you go into the filthy sewers and fight the giant sewer rat monster, while I get to live in luxury, surrounded by so cute cat girls all day and eat ice cream and cake. Yeah, that's a dream. All right. But until then, I can. We'll get there, one step at a time. Have some ice cream if you want. Ah, thanks. Yeah, you can keep. You can hold on to it right now. I'm actually feeling a lot better. I needed to get that off my chest. Ooh, Huckleberry. Actually, you know what? I want some. Here, give me some ice cream. All right. Okay, let's get back to this. All right, and then we'll create another resource, and then you select the standard material again, and I'll call this transparent. Huckleberry's best flavor ever. Also, let's be Dusty. I'm like, there's only one person I know who would go out of her way to summon Phantom. I already knew it was you, Dusty. But yeah, I hope you're doing all right. Okay, so then we gotta set it to that. But now, and there's transparency. So then, how do I set that then? What? Wait, what? Did it work? Oh yeah, did you see the photo of that Cosmicent Ryuuta? Wait, I don't think I saw that yet. Yeah, let me get his phone. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me see. Ah, it's a cute little kitty. They both look very comfy like that. All right, let me slip this back in his pocket so we can see it. Okay. Huh? Wait, Okay, I keep getting load issues, so hopefully hopefully this works. All right, stick it on here. Okay, let me try regular alpha. It's like this thing keeps bringing up load errors every single time I try to do it. What about add? Does that work? Ah! Why does this keep? Okay, maybe I'm gonna go cry and eat ice cream now. Okay. Hopefully the ice cream makes you feel better. I know it's like I know about that me too, where someone's eating ice cream because she eats it when she's feeling sad. All right, let me restart this and let me try opening it as an administrator. Maybe this might work. Okay, and I'm also getting a little bit hungry. I'll get something to eat after I don't know, after this is done. Also, I should probably look up why this thing keeps giving me loader. Why does this thing keep giving me load errors? Oh, wait. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so it did work. All right, nice. All right, cool. Okay, so that works. Now I gotta create one more. Oh, whoops. Create a new resource. It's like it might be easier for me. Honestly, it's probably gonna be easier for me just well, it would be easier for me to just duplicate the material, but I'll just create a new resource and just do it that way. Then we'll call this one texture. And then, not shading, but under albedo, there's a thing called texture. So what we can do is, I think you want it. Let me see how do you want it to look like? Oh yeah, so we're gonna use the the player sprite for that. Drag that in there, and there we go. Then we'll just go ahead and then drag this on top, and all right, we did it. It's in reverse order, but yeah, exactly how they almost pretty much exactly how they wanted it. All right, we're able to move on.
Alright, so I hope you had to go at that challenge. Pretty much what we want to do is first of all create our 3 spheres. So I'm going to go ahead, create a mesh instance 3D here, assign that mesh to be a new sphere. We can then duplicate that and make 2 more on either side. There we go. So now that we have our spheres, we then need to create materials for them. So inside of our materials folder, I'm going to right click on it, go new, resource. I'm going to go down to where we have standard material 3D, and I'm going to call this one pink ball. Okay. Now for our pink ball, we can click and drag on that sphere. As you can see, it doesn't really change much since the default material is very similar to the one that gets assigned when we actually create the mesh. But we can click and drag it on. We can then go over to the inspector, change the albedo color here. I'm going to make that a nice vibrant pink, something like that. And we can then change the roughness. Actually, no, keep the roughness at 1. I reckon. I think that's going to be a good idea. There we go. Now we can move on to the second ball, and this is going to be transparency. So I'm going to right click on materials folder, go new, resource,
right?
standard material 3D. I'm going to call this one blue transparent, okay, or technically translucent. So I'm going to click and drag on the center one here. We can then go in the inspector down to albedo. Let's just give our ball its blue color real quick. There we go. And then we can go over to the transparency drop down here. And right now transparency is set to disabled, so we want to click on that drop down and change it to alpha. Now what we can do is go back to our albedo, open up that color again, and you'll see here we have our RGBA values. Red, green, blue, and alpha. And alpha is basically transparency. So we can click and drag on that slider to bring that down in transparency, as you can see.
Oh, so that's how so that's the way to do it. Okay. Alright. I'll set that back to mix. And then, yeah, and then under color, click that. Okay, and so, okay, so, like I said, it's like he started saying, there's two different ways to do it. I just took a drink of water, my gum started bleeding. That might be something to check out, but are you brushing your teeth properly? Yeah, because, yeah, you gotta make sure you brush your teeth properly and make sure you floss. Because flossing, that's something people like to forget. So you didn't make sure you're taking care of your dental hygiene. All right, let me write this down for Ryuuta. That's hitting me pretty hard, so I've been having trouble getting up in the morning. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope, yeah, hopefully these streams could, like, help bring a little bit of, positivity back to you. Of course, they always do. Alright, that's good to hear. Okay, and let's see. I wonder if there's anything different with the other texture.
See here. And now, if we pan our camera around, we can actually see through our ball. Now, with transparency, there are a bunch of different types of modes for transparency. So if I click on the transparency drop down again, you see we have alpha, alpha scissor, alpha hash.
Yeah, water's always healthy to drink.
Hash, for example, you can see that it basically has this solid blue mixed with totally invisible, okay? So it gives the appearance of transparency. And depending on, you know, the rendering situation, it may be better performance for your game to do it this way. But I'm going to switch that back to alpha. We also have our blend mode.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Determines how it renders the transparency based on
yeah, like water that has like healthy materials in it. That's always nice to drink.
Is behind it. So if we go add, that means it's going to add this blue color to whatever it is behind. Subtracts it. So as you can see, it has this weird looking effect right here. And multiply is multiplying the colors together. Okay, so that's going to make it a bit darker. But typically, mix is what you were looking for the blend mode.
Okay, so yeah,
now,
two ways to do it.
Sphere, we are going to be applying a texture. So I'm going to right click on materials once again, go new, resource, standard material 3D, and I'm going to call this one our texture ball. Okay, click and drag on the sphere, and to apply a texture, what we need to do is go down to where we have albedo, and you'll see here we can of course change the color but we can also assign a texture, and that is going to be the flat color texture for our ball. And for this, I'm just going to be using our player sprite, so we can just click and drag that in here, and there we go. So as you can see, we have our player right here. We can even click on the color property, and we can actually modify the color that is sort of being multiplied by the...
Alright, then you take care, but don't die. Live. Well, actually, hold on. Let me do it better. Let me do it better. No, don't die. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Don't die. Live. You must live. Alright, but take care.
Texture, okay? So if we want the texture to look more blue, we can do that. If we want to make it look more red, we can change it to red. Okay, and that is pretty much the basis of materials inside of Godot. Once again, there are a lot of different settings.
Oh, come on! I was trying to look cool, but hey, it's like it's like one of these days. It's like one. That was my fault. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. One of these days he will see.
Things here for you to change, and I just hope that you go ahead and experiment with these, as you can create some pretty interesting looking materials for your games. So thanks for watching. Hey everyone, in this lesson we are going
got 20 lessons under your belt, but don't stop there.
Inside of the Godot engine. Okay, now when working in...
Whoa. Okay, so I think with these next two lessons, this is probably where we're going to be... okay, yeah. These next two lessons, this is where we're going to start wrapping things up. Because I see the next... we have a quiz after this one, and then the next one is scripting, so I'm going to need as much brain power for that as possible. Alright, but yeah, let me set this next section as lights.
In 3D, lighting is very important as it sets the mood and it sets the theme of your game. So how do we create lights inside of Godot? Well, first of all, let's get an actual mesh in here so we can see what effect it has on the actual environment. So I'm going to click on the plus, I'm going to create a new mesh instance 3D, and we can change that to be a sphere. Okay, there we go. So we've got our mesh here. Now let's go ahead and apply some lighting to it.
Alright, let me catch up because, yeah, he's going super fast. Heck, do I even need this stuff anymore? I'll just save it and then I'll just delete all of it. Alright, we got our spear there.
Now, if we click on the plus and we search for light, you'll see there are 3 different types of lights we can create. We can create a directional light, an omni light, and a spotlight.
Alright, let me write this down. Also, this will probably come in handy in Blender because me and Ryuuta, he struggles with like trying to figure out how to do the lightings in areas. Omni and spot.
Now let's start with directional light. So I'm going to select it and click create. Now a directional light is basically like the sun, okay? Our sun shoots down rays of light parallel to each other, and that's essentially what a directional light does.
Okay.
It casts a light in a single direction. So if we go to the rotate tool here with the directional light selected, you can see that we have this white arrow pointing in the direction that the light is being shone from. And you can see we even have a little sun up here in the skybox to show where it's coming from. And you'll see on our sphere here, the left-hand side is being hit by that light. And if we rotate this directional light, you can see how it changes the actual source or the direction of that light. Now, good thing about directional light is that it can be moved around anywhere in the scene, but the position does not affect where the light is coming from because it's basically coming from an infinite distance away. It's only the rotation that really matters when it comes. To the directional light, okay? So you can see here we can modify our directional light rotation to modify where on the sphere it has been hit with light. Now, something else we can do with the light is many things actually. If we go over to the inspector and open up the light drop down here, you'll see there are a bunch of different settings we can change. For example, the color.
Oh, yeah.
Is, as it sounds, it's the color of the light. So if, for example, it's nighttime, you might want to have a bit more of a coldish blue light, so something like this maybe. Whereas if it's daytime, you probably want a nice, vibrant, slightly yellow-hued light, okay? And you can go ahead and modify those for whatever you wish. The energy, this is basically the intensity of the light, okay? And as you can see, if I...
Okay, let me write that down.
Pump this up, our sphere starts to pretty much glow if we increase the energy there. Whereas if we put it at 0, it's as if there is no light. So I'm going to bring that back up to 1. We don't really need to worry about the rest of these settings here since they are all for light baking and a much more complex lighting, so we're just going to ignore those for now. Okay, so we have our directional light. Now, what about those other light types?
Okay. Next, so let's take a look at the next light.
Click on the plus, and let's create what's known as an OmniLight 3D. So we'll create our OmniLight, and with this, you'll see it has a sphere, okay, this wireframe sphere on the outside, and this basically is a light that emits from a single point in all directions, okay? You can think of it like a candle, a light bulb, okay? It has a source of the light, and it emits in all directions. So what we can do is we can press W to go to our move tool. Let's move this light over here, and as you can see, it is lighting up our sphere. And this white wireframe is basically the range of the light. I mean, click and drag on this little orange node right here to basically change the... Now, to make things a bit easier to see, I'm going to go
Oh
ahead.
yeah.
And create a new mesh instance 3D. Let's set this mesh to be a plane, and that's basically like a solid ground. Let's increase that scale, move it down a bit. There we go. Okay, so we'll select the Omni light again. We can move it around. To have a better viewing of it, to actually see what we are casting, let's change that light color over to, I'm going to change that over to we'll change it over to a red. Okay, we'll make a nice red light here. And we can then bump up the energy a bit, and we can then see how that affects our surroundings. Okay, now it might be a bit hard to see because of the white ground, so what we can do is select our directional light, and let's bring that energy down to 0. Okay, so now it's pretty much just our Omni light shining here, and you can see we can change all the settings, the energy. Now, to change the range, we can open up the Omni drop down here and change the range. We also got the attenuation, which is basically the fall off curve. Now, with lighting, we also have shadows, and so how do we apply those? Well, let's first of all set the... the energy of our Omni light down to 0 for now, because we'll look at our directional light. Let's bring that directional light back up to 1. Now, how do we cast a shadow on this sphere onto the plane below? Well, to do that, we want to open up the shadow drop down here and just enable it. And there we go. It's pretty much done just like that. Same thing for the Omni light. If we bump up that energy, we can go down to shadow and enable that shadow as well. And you can see there is a bit of a shadow.
Oh hey, welcome to the stream, Finbar Harley. Welcome. Sorry, it's a bit of a boring stream I got right here because we're just doing our GODOT reps. And yeah, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, afternoon, where you're at. Let me also give you a shout out. Oh, whoop. God. Oh my God. It's hard for me to see from this. All right, hopefully that works. All right, let's kneel to Finbar Hottie VTuber. Oh, you're playing a game called Shadows of Doubt. Huh, that sounds like an interesting game. Yeah, how did that go, by the way? Hope that went very well for you, and I'll give you the proper shout out right on top of that. Go ahead and give them a follow if you guys would do so. Very cool Dullahan VTuber right there. And yeah. So if we're just like now we're just starting to learn how to like do the lighting in Godot. So far we've just been learning how to do basically some 3D stuff, some 2D. It's like some 2D stuff over here. Yeah. So just basically learning how to use this engine and hopefully one day make a game out of it. Investigate stealth game where you investigate procedurally generated crime. Ooh, procedurally generated crime. Oh. Actually, you know what? I think that might be a good hold on, let me look this up really quick. I feel like this might be a great game for Ryuuta to look into. Let's see.
It was real nice.
Ooh, yeah. This might be a cool game for him to try out. Yeah, let me Yeah, that sounds like a really cool game, and it's got a lot of positive reviews. So I was like, yeah, I feel like that might be perfect for errata, but I'd like to try it myself. All right, but yeah, we're just doing like this lesson and then the test, and then we're going to be wrapping up the stream from here.
Now, it is important to note that shadows do have...
By the way, like, the tutorial I'm watching is in that small window right there. The reason I don't make it big, because this tutorial series is about $700. So yeah, I don't want to get this stream Omega banned. So I have to like shrink it down to that size, and yeah, hopefully whenever I archive it, I still don't get the thing nuked for it. But yeah, that's kind of like why. So anything you're doing, I might just replicate on the engine. But I feel like for this one, it's better to just watch it.
Some performance cost, but you shouldn't worry about that unless you have quite a few of them in your scene. Now, finally, we have one more light, and I'm just going to delete our Omni light here and delete our directional light, and that is going to be our, if we type in light, our Spotlight 3D. Now,
okay. Yeah, because trying to figure out what light to use when is going to be really important, because I honestly thought the omnidirectional light was similar to the sun, but apparently it's actually the directional light. And when you use the directional light, moving it around in the environment actually doesn't do anything. So the only thing you can change on it is the rotation, which actually affects things.
Spotlight is pretty much as it sounds. It is a light that emits in a cone, okay? These would be good things for headlights, street lamps. If your character is holding a torch, a spotlight would be good for that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to rotate this spotlight so it's facing down, and you can see if we zoom out here that there is this white cone wireframe, which basically shows us the angle, which we can modify by clicking and dragging here, as well as the range. So we can modify those two things here. We can then change the light energy, so we might want to bump that up like so. We can change the color, so let's change this to be a change this over to be a green, for example. There we go. And of course, just like with those other lights, we can apply shadows as well, and there you go. So yeah, that is just a quick look at these different lighting systems that we can use inside of Godot. We have the directional light, which acts like a sun. We have an omni light, which acts as a light source that emits in all directions, like a candle or a light bulb. And then we have a spotlight, which emits in a cone, and that acts as if it's a torch or a street lamp. So I'd recommend having a go experimenting with all these different lights, as really there is a lot to learn when it comes to lighting, so have fun experimenting with that.
Alright. And that does it for that lesson, and now should be the test portion. Okay, and we could take this test, and chat, we can take this test together. So, if we wanted to simulate the sun, what type of light node would we use? We actually use a directional light. I used to think it was actually the omni light, since it emits in all directions, but apparently, yeah, it's actually directional light. What does the material do? Provides light for the object? No. It decides how the object will be rendered to our screen. That sounds about right. Object size and shape? No. Adds physics? No. So it's that one. An Omni Light 3D node does what? Projects lights in all directions? Yeah, that sounds about right. Cone shape? No. That's the spotlight. What, in a specific direction? No. That's directional. It lights inside the objects. No. I don't even think we even learned that yet. So yeah, light in all directions. And yeah, we got that right. All right, and then yeah, right here it's now
Hey everyone.
okay. Now it's gonna go into scripting, and yeah, we're gonna need like I'll either have to do this next lesson off screen, or we'll do it next time in case I don't do it during the week. But yeah, we got like a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff done. So we learned about let's see, we learned about the node tools, mainly like how to transform. It's like move around, transform objects and everything. We learned how to learned about parenting objects and creating creating parents within parents. Oh, and then we got our taste into like the 3D space. So the 3D meat and potatoes, assigning materials and assigning the lighting. And now next up is going to be scripting. So yeah, we're going to be going into like the programming nitty gritty and into the Godot into the Godot engine. Okay, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Still, it's like, yeah, it is a bit of a boring stream, but hey, that's what educational streams are. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Let me see. Okay, so Conqueror's still going. I haven't rated him. I haven't rated him for a while, or maybe I did. But let me also see if there's anyone on my anyone else on my Twitch list I can send you guys to. Like, see, I don't know how long is Conqueror going for, because I know he started before I did. So I don't know. Okay, looks like he's still going right now. Okay. But let me also see if there's any software game development VTubers doing anything right now. Is it just me? Yep, looks like it's just me. Oh! I could also send you guys over to Arch. He is starting up. So, I got two different choices. Well, then again, he just started up, so he might need a couple minutes to finish setting up. So we're gonna go and raid Conqueror King. He's he's currently playing Elden Ring. We're gonna give him a we're gonna say educate yourself now. Yeah, that's gonna be the raid message. That's gonna be the raid message. So I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, where you guys are at. Me and Rita will be back tomorrow with the weekly drawing stream, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
I need to leave. I need to leave.